When you grow old, the lazier you are at these 5 things, the happier you are. Growing old can be a time of peace and contentment, but it also brings challenges, particularly with how we manage our lives. There is a widespread belief that the older you get, the harder you need to work to maintain your health, happiness, and social connections. Yet, in reality, doing less, being lazier at a few things can make you happier in the long run. In fact, when it comes to certain aspects of life, the less you stress, the more you can truly enjoy your later years. In this video, we will dive into 5 areas where being a bit lazier can boost your happiness as you grow older. These are the areas where overworking or overthinking can actually hurt more than help. So, let us explore how doing less in these key areas can help you live a more joyful life, fulfilling life as you age. Number 1, lazier with social media. For many older adults, social media can feel like both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it allows them to stay in touch with family and friends who might live far away. On the other, it can bring unexpected stress, anxiety, and feelings of loneliness. Research from the American Psychological Association highlights this by showing that older adults who spend a lot of time on social media often experience higher levels of emotional distress. This happens because rather than fostering meaningful connections, social media can trap people in a cycle of endless scrolling. They start comparing their lives to others and feel pressured to keep up with trends that may not even matter to them. Being lazier with social media can be one of the best things you do for your mental health as you age. Reducing the time you spend online allows you to focus on building deeper, real-world relationships. For instance, instead of liking a friend's picture on a platform, you could meet them for coffee and catch up in person. These face-to-face interactions have been proven to make people happier. Studies from the National Institute on Aging reveal that those with strong, real-life social ties often live longer and healthier lives. Imagine going to a local event or joining a small club where you can meet others with similar interests. These experiences provide not only joy, but also a sense of belonging that social media cannot replace. Limiting your time on social media does not mean you have to quit it entirely. Instead, it is about setting boundaries that work for you. For example, decide to check it for only 10 minutes in the morning or evening. Then use the rest of your day to focus on activities that truly make you happy. You might take up gardening, which gets you outdoors and gives you a sense of accomplishment when flowers bloom or vegetables grow. You could also pick up a hobby like painting, knitting, or writing, which allows you to express yourself and stay engaged with the world in a creative way. Spending less time on social media also gives you the opportunity to strengthen connections with your loved ones. A phone call to your grandchild or a visit to your neighbor can make a world of difference. Unlike the filtered, polished versions of life we see online, these moments are real and heartfelt. They remind us of what truly matters and help to reduce the loneliness that so many people experience as they age. Another benefit of cutting back on social media is improved mental clarity. When you are not bombarded with constant updates or notifications, your mind has more space to focus on things that matter. For example, instead of getting caught up in a debate online, you might enjoy a peaceful walk in your neighborhood. You could take the time to notice the trees, birds, and fresh air. These small, simple pleasures have a powerful way of lifting your spirits and grounding you in the present moment. Social media can be particularly draining when it comes to comparing yourself to others. Seeing a friend's vacation photos or a distant relative's new car can make you feel as though your life is less exciting. But by stepping away from these online comparisons, you give yourself the chance to appreciate what you have. Gratitude, studies show, is linked to greater happiness and better health. When you spend time appreciating your own journey rather than measuring it against someone else's, life feels richer and more rewarding. Being lazier with social media also frees up time for relaxation. Imagine sitting with a good book instead of scrolling through posts, or spending the afternoon baking something special for a family dinner. These activities are not only calming, but also allow you to create memories that you can cherish forever, Life becomes more meaningful when you are fully present in the moment rather than distracted by a screen. In the end, social media has its place, but it should not dominate your time or emotions. Reducing your reliance on it and focusing on real-world interactions can help you feel happier and more at peace. Small changes, like spending a little less time scrolling and a little more time living, can make a big difference in how you experience your golden years. Number 2, lazier with work. As you age, it can be tempting to keep working as hard as you did when you were younger. Whether you're still holding a full-time job or managing personal projects, there's often a sense of pressure to stay busy and keep achieving. This can lead to burnout if you're pushing yourself too hard. A study published in the American Journal of Epidemiology found that people who work excessive hours are at a higher risk for burnout, depression, and even cardiovascular problems. When you're constantly on the go, your body and mind don't have the time they need to rest and recover, which can lead to long-term health issues. Instead of continuing to push yourself to achieve more and more, try embracing a slower, more balanced pace. It's okay to step back and recognize that you don't need to be busy all the time to feel valuable. In fact, doing less can actually improve your overall quality of life. Research from the University of Melbourne supports this idea, showing that people who work fewer hours tend to have lower stress levels and a better work-life balance. These individuals also report being more satisfied with their lives, with improved mental health and overall well-being. As you grow older, it becomes even more important to prioritize what truly matters. If you're still working, focus on tasks that align with your passions and strengths. Let go of unnecessary commitments that drain your energy and leave less time for things you enjoy. This laziness is not about avoiding work. Rather, it's about choosing to invest your energy in what's most important to you. Cutting back on the busy work allows you to make space for relaxation, hobbies, and time with loved ones, things that contribute to long-term happiness. Maintaining a healthy balance between productivity and rest is crucial for sustaining your energy and happiness as you age. By giving yourself permission to work less and prioritize your well-being, you're setting yourself up for a more fulfilling and less stressful life. Remember, it's not about doing everything. It's about doing what matters most and making sure there's time to rest and recharge. Number 3, lazier with expectations. As we age, it's natural to become more self-aware and start setting higher expectations for ourselves. This might include things like maintaining a perfect home, achieving an ideal body, or constantly striving to meet personal goals. While these ambitions can be motivating, they can also create a lot of pressure. The pressure to be perfect can lead to feelings of constant dissatisfaction. According to a study published in Psychology and Aging, older adults who set unrealistic expectations for themselves often experience higher levels of anxiety and depression. These expectations can make you feel like you're always falling short, no matter how hard you try. Over time, this can lead to burnout, frustration, and a deep sense of inadequacy. One of the best things you can do as you grow older is to be lazier with your expectations. It's okay if everything isn't perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out or maintain a spotless home all the time. In fact, letting go of perfectionism can bring a great sense of peace and contentment. Research from the University of California, Berkeley, has shown that people who embrace imperfection and practice self-compassion tend to live happier and longer lives. These individuals experience less stress and are better able to appreciate the small, everyday moments that make life enjoyable. Lowering your expectations doesn't mean giving up on your goals or standards. It simply means being kinder to yourself. For example, it's perfectly fine if your house isn't always perfectly tidy, or if you don't check every item off your to-do list. Life is messy, and that's okay. Rather than striving for unattainable perfection, try to focus on doing your best and accepting that your best is enough. Perfection is often an illusion, and chasing it can lead to unnecessary stress. Instead, allow yourself the freedom to let go of the constant pressure to measure up to an ideal that may not even be realistic. This laziness with expectations doesn't mean you're slacking off. It simply means that you are giving yourself the permission to relax, enjoy life, and accept the imperfections. When you lower your expectations, you open the door to greater peace and fulfillment as you age. Instead of stressing about all the things you haven't done yet or what you think you should have accomplished by now, focus on the progress you've made and the happiness you've cultivated along the way. Life doesn't need to be perfect to be wonderful. In fact, it's often the imperfections that make it interesting and meaningful. Number 4, lazier with competing. As you grow older, it can be easy to compare yourself to others, whether it's your peers, younger family members, or even celebrities. The urge to measure your life against someone else's can feel overwhelming. This constant comparison often leads to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. You might find yourself thinking, why am I not where they are? Or why don't I have what they have? However, this kind of thinking can be harmful. According to a study from the University of California, constantly comparing yourself to others can lead to depression, anxiety, and dissatisfaction with life. It can take away your focus from the things that really matter in your own life. Instead of being content with your own progress, you get caught up in a race that is not yours to run. When you constantly measure your worth based on others, you miss out on appreciating your unique journey. Everyone has their own pace, challenges, and experiences. Comparing yourself to someone else means you're neglecting what makes your path special. For example, if you see someone your age achieving something big, like getting promoted at work, and feel left behind, you may forget about the growth and successes you've had in your own life. Maybe you've worked hard to maintain strong friendships, learned a new skill, or have overcome personal struggles. These things matter too, and they contribute to your happiness. But when you compare, you overlook these personal victories. Instead of competing with others, focus on your own growth and happiness. It's okay not to be where someone else is. As you get older, one of the most important things you can do is to embrace your own journey. Celebrate your own progress, no matter how small it may seem. Maybe you didn't climb the corporate ladder, but perhaps you've built a strong and fulfilling personal life. Maybe you didn't travel the world, but you've created a peaceful home where you feel happy and content. These achievements are just as valuable as the ones you see in others. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that older adults who focus on their own progress rather than comparing themselves to others tend to be happier and healthier. They find joy in their own personal milestones. They stop worrying about keeping up with everyone else and start appreciating what they've achieved on their own terms. Take a step back and think about the things you've accomplished in your life. Have you learned a new hobby? Have you built a career that suits your needs? Have you grown emotionally and mentally through challenges? All of these are reasons to feel proud. By choosing to lazy your way out of the competition, you can experience greater contentment and happiness. This doesn't mean giving up on improvement. It just means not putting unnecessary pressure on yourself to keep up with the world's standards. Instead, focus on your own values and what makes you happy. There is no need to compete with anyone. The only person you need to focus on is yourself. The less you compare, the more you can appreciate the life you've built. Number 5, lazier with worrying. Worrying about what lies ahead can feel overwhelming, especially as we age. Concerns about health, financial stability, or the uncertainties of growing older can quickly consume your thoughts. However, constantly worrying is not only emotionally draining, but can also take a toll on your physical well-being. Research shows that excessive worry can lead to stress issues like insomnia, weakened immunity, and even heart problems. A report by the American Psychological Association highlights that chronic worrying can significantly impact both mental and physical health, leaving many older adults feeling trapped in a cycle of stress. Learning to let go of excessive worry can bring incredible relief and improve your overall quality of life. While it's natural to have concerns, it's important to remember that not everything is within your control, and that's perfectly okay. Shifting your focus to what you can influence in the present moment is a healthier and more productive approach. For example, instead of losing sleep over hypothetical health problems, consider small, actionable steps like taking daily walks or incorporating more vegetables into your meals. These proactive measures can give you a sense of empowerment without the burden of unnecessary anxiety. Adopting a more relaxed mindset does not mean ignoring your responsibilities or pretending that problems do not exist. Instead, it involves practicing mindfulness and acceptance, both of which have been shown to reduce stress and increase happiness among older adults. Mindfulness, for instance, encourages you to stay present and appreciate the here and now, rather than worrying about potential future scenarios that may never happen. Simple practices like deep breathing or a short meditation session can help you refocus your energy and quiet a restless mind. If financial concerns are causing worry, focus on practical steps that align with your current situation. You might review your budget, cut unnecessary expenses, or find creative ways to save money. However, it is equally important to acknowledge that endlessly obsessing over financial what-ifs will not change the outcome. By finding a balance between careful planning and letting go of excessive fear, you can approach these challenges with a clearer mind and a lighter heart. Being lazier with worrying does not mean being careless. It means recognizing when your thoughts are spiraling into unhelpful patterns and gently guiding yourself back to a more peaceful state. For instance, if you find yourself consumed by concerns about your family's future, remind yourself of the love and effort you have already invested in them. Trusting that you have done your best can help ease the emotional weight of overthinking. Letting go of worry also opens the door to joy and gratitude. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, take time to appreciate what is going well in your life. Notice the small pleasures, like the warmth of the sun on your skin during a morning walk, or the laughter of a grandchild during a phone call. These moments of mindfulness can create a ripple effect, making it easier to shift your attention away from worries and toward the positive aspects of life. Sometimes, the simplest changes can make the biggest difference. For example, if you find yourself worrying late at night, try writing your thoughts in a journal. This exercise can help you process your concerns and release them before going to sleep. Or, if you feel overwhelmed by a particular situation, talk to a trusted friend or family member. Sharing your feelings can bring a new perspective and reduce the burden of carrying everything on your own. Worrying less allows you to reclaim your energy for the things that truly matter, whether it is spending time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or simply enjoying the quiet moments. Being lazier with your worries frees up space for peace and happiness. While life will always have uncertainties, choosing not to dwell on them is one of the most empowering steps you can take as you grow older. By focusing on the present and letting go of unnecessary fears, you create room for a richer, more fulfilling life. Growing older doesn't mean you have to constantly push yourself harder or strive for perfection. In fact, being lazier in certain areas of life can actually make you happier. By limiting your social media use, focusing on what matters most in work, letting go of perfectionism, avoiding unnecessary competition, and reducing worry, you'll find greater peace and contentment as you age. Doing less in these key areas doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're prioritizing what truly enhances your well-being. Embrace the idea that less stress, fewer expectations, and more focus on your own path can lead to a richer, more fulfilling life. As you grow older, the lazier you are in these 5 things, the happier you'll be.